breaking news that I come to you with the truth. The mean streets took 6 more lives overnight, all the result of gangbang stupidity. By the way, you gangsters should know, one of your victims was a 3-year-old girl. Local gang members, you still don't get it, do you?
It's straight up madness everywhere I look. Used to be a straight A student, now he's a crook, robbing people just to smoke and shoot up. Used to have a crew cut, now he's a poop butt. Dropped out of school and he joins the neighborhood gang. Hanging on the street selling cane to his own people. Now when I say people, I mean color. You a stupid motherfucker.
Sisters, since we are the mothers of this earth, it's time we start being good mothers from the birth of our children. No time for sleeping, teach them to fight and win for the right reason. It's your time, it's your life, live it. Proud to be black, young and gifted, lifted by the knowledge of taking the right route. Gang violence needs to be wiped out.
One and the same.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another major level edition of Major Level Entertainment. I am your host and owner of the channel, your boy, Big and Major. You know what I'm talking about? As you see, the title of today's show is, Major Stories Part 1 of the LA riots. I'm basically going to give you like a detail, like a version of the events the way that I saw it. You know what I'm talking about? So if you're coming in, please hit that like button, the share button, the subscribe button, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I do all type of content. I don't just do sports. I do all kind of things, entertainment, stories, you know what I'm saying? You name it, lectures, you name it, over here at Major Level Entertainment. So thank y'all for being with me today on this Saturday at 1 o'clock p.m., you know what I'm saying, Pacific time over here on the West Coast. It's your boy and Major. We're going to go ahead and get right into it, man. For those of y'all that don't know, I'm talking about this. The idea was given to me by one of the homies, whatever the case may be. And once again, man, I'm full of stories. I've been around for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I'm old now, so I've seen a lot of things through these eyes, you know what I mean? And a lot of you guys are either not from out here or wasn't born at the time or was just too young to even remember about it unless you heard somebody else talk about it. So just giving you like a brief summary on what I saw through my eyes. If you have any questions down there in the chat, you can feel free to ask me. You know what I'm saying? I do like to interact with my chat or whatever the case may be. So no, this ain't a sports show. So I know a lot of people won't be interested because it's not a sports show, but this is a part of LA history, a part of American history, and it's just something to know. You know what I'm talking about? Just for entertainment purposes and informational purposes and stuff like that. So feel free to ask questions down there in the chat. Before I proceed any further, let me go ahead and give a shout out to those who have showed up. The one person that showed up thus far, my damn cousin, Chris. A salute, cuzzo. He said, salute, big cuzzo. That's Chris Goat James, a.k.a. Chris, a.k.a. let me cook this brother right quick. You know what I'm talking about? Let me serve up some brisket and baked steak. You understand what I'm talking about? My damn cousin, my guy, you're a guy. Appreciate you for always showing up to the channel, bro. No matter what I got going on, Chris gonna show up and show some love. All right. So let's go ahead and get off to it. Once again, if you're new, hit that like and subscribe button. And let's get these views up. Let's get these likes up right now. Okay. So back in 1991, as you all know, LAPD, those cricket motherfuckers, they pulled over Rodney King, said he was speeding. He was not speeding. But he was kind of swerving a little bit. He was under the influence. He was drunk, whatever the case may be. And from excuse me. So oh wait, hold on. Shout out to Sammy the Man. Yo. That was my PM, my birthday. That was on my birthday. On my birthday. Yeah, you're right. What day was your birthday, Sammy? Put it down in the chat. May 24th. Never forget the whole thing. Yeah. Facts. So look, they beat Rodney King up real bad right now. Yeah, he was swerving or whatever the case may be. He was a little drunk, but he was non-violent. When they pulled him out the car, we've seen everything on tape. You know what I'm saying? They put him out the car. They beat him up. They worked him over real bad. I think they hit him something like 56 times. It's what they kept plastering across the screens and stuff like that. He eventually got paid for that. 56. I think it was like 1 million per strike. Cause we used to make jokes about it. You know what I'm saying? Back in school. Damn, man, I wish somebody, I wish I could get paid for getting, for each strike, I get $1 million. I think he got $1 million a strike. So there's 56 million. Of course, he didn't get all of that, or whatever the case may be. But it's he was beat. He was beat horribly too. He was beat bad. The fact that he was able to still be alive was something to us. But we young, we didn't care, man. We just know that black dude got beat. It was unfair, wasn't right. We all seen it. The whole world saw it. Now this happened a week before my birthday. My birthday is on the 10th. This happened on the 3rd, third or 4th, I think. And my mother, she was like, you know what? They're gonna let those cops get off. Because what they're going to do, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to change the venue. You know what I'm saying? They're going to change the venue. And so we asking her, like, what do you mean? She was like, well, these white cops beat this black dude. They're not going to have the venue, in the court of law where, they could pick, black jury, whatever. This is the cops versus the citizen. So we was like, oh, well, we'll wait and see. So at first, they was going to have the trial in Compton Court Building. If they'd had the trial in Compton, more than likely, and at that time, I ain't hardly no white people in Compton at that time. So they would have probably got Hispanics and black people. You know what I'm saying? They know that the jury could have been, they probably would have convicted these or indicted these white cops. Stacy Coon and somebody, it's crazy. It's fitting that one of the cops' last name was Coon. That's crazy. But they probably would have convicted him. But because I think the judge, he wanted it moved, the Supreme Court judge, he wanted it moved to a more, they tried to make it like a more balanced location, because if it would have been Compton, it would have been too minority heavy, or whatever the case may be. So they ended up moving the court to Simi Valley. Now, if you know anything about Simi Valley, if you're from Los Angeles, Simi Valley is full of cops. You know what I'm talking about? Full of cops, full of, neo-Nazis and stuff like that. Yes, they do exist in California. I've been to the town a couple times, been through there. It's a little bit lighter now, but trust me, elements of that racism is still there in that community. And it went there, man. And then a couple of days after my birthday, the grand jury did indict those cops. They did indict them. You know what I'm saying? The cops involved in the beating or whatever the case may be. They indicted them. But they was later found, they was later acquitted of their charges. You know what I'm saying? They was brought up on felony charges with Rodney King, whatever, but they was later acquitted. Now, it took a whole year, a full year, April 1992, y'all. It took them a full year after about a week of deliberation. You know what I'm saying? The jury acquitted all 4 officers, all 4 of them, including Stacy Coon and the other 3 officers, you know what I'm saying, who did the main beating. And the verdict, I remember that day. I forgot what day it was, but we was right out of school. Everything was out of school. Now, at the time, in April of 92, my family, we stayed off of 103rd and Hobart on the west side of LA. We wasn't living in Watts. We weren't living in Compton at that time. And we was all outside playing football, throwing the football around where all the kids was outside. Everybody was outside. It's damn near summertime. So, when we get out of school, it's just, it's damn near summertime. So everybody is kind of moving around, or whatever the case may be. Right where the riots actually started at, like where it kicked off at, where the first burnings and things and the beatings happened and stuff like that, was a street called Normandy and Figueroa. So Fig and Normandy is where it's like the epicenter, you know what I'm saying, ground zero for it started off. Now, at that time, 103rd and Hobart was not too far from Normandy. Like Hobart Street was the street before Western, which is the main street in Los Angeles. The next main street going east of Western is Normandy. So Normandy is the next main street that was east of us. So, and it was less than a mile away from our house. So Normandy going a mile away from our house east, and then Figueroa. Let's see. Normandy Fig, they run the same. I'm tripping. Not Normandy Fig. Normandy and Florence, y'all. I'm sorry about that. Normandy and Florence. Normandy and Fig run the same way. But Normandy and Florence is where the riot started at. So Florence was about maybe 2 miles north of us. So the riots began 2 miles, like I said, about 2.5 miles northeast of where we lived. So we could see the fires. Like we could stand on the garage, we could stand up. If you were tall enough, like my brothers, they were tall, we could all stand up and we could like look and we could see the smoke coming up off that section. Now, at that time, I was driving, my brother was driving, my oldest brother was driving. We all had vehicles. So, but I was still a minor, I'm saying? I was still under 18. My two brothers was, 18 and above. So they was like, man, we about to go see what's going on. We about to go down there and see what's going on. My mom was like, no, y'all ain't going nowhere. And, my pops was like, nah, let them go see what's going on. They pretty much grown or whatever the case may be. But I couldn't go, I'm talking about. So they went riding down the street and my oldest brother came back and was like, yo, he traced where the fire was coming from. He was like, yo, they burning down Florence. Like they got buildings set on fire. They throwing Molotovs. They done pulled niggas out their cars and trucks, beating on anybody that don't look like they black. It was just crazy. And this was like the end of April, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So mind you, the riots lasted about 6 days, y'all. Like, but let me tell you, the account that I gave on the first couple days, the first day. I'm gonna take you through the first couple hours. So when my brother, he went down there, I forgot what time of day it was, but it was like during after school hours, you know what I'm saying? There was a lot of people on the street. And my oldest brother came back and was like, yo, the gas station, they looting out the gas. When I heard the word loot, I was like, oh shit, that means steal. That means take, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, we're thinking it's just gonna happen right there, because right there, Florence and Normandy, there's a couple different like hoods over there or close by. You know what I'm saying? You got the 60s over there, the 60s Crip is over there. You got the 6 Deuce Brims not too far away from there. You got the 9-0s pushed through there, the 8 trays pushed through there. You got a couple Hoovers pushing through there. So there's a bunch of different people, and they pushing through, and ain't nobody got time to really be banging on each other. Like, hey man, where you from? What the hell you doing over here? Like, it was the city was so mad, niggas wasn't even tripping on shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So niggas pushing through there, whatever the case may be. Bro, come back, man. This pandemonium. Oh man, this pandemonium. So my other brother, my second oldest brother, he's like, I went the wrong way. He was going toward Compton. Wasn't nothing cracking on this side of town at that time. So then when he came back, he pays my brother. My brother told him what was going on. So he came back to the house, and it was like, yo, it's literally happened about 2 miles away from our house, man. Let's get out there and let's participate. Of course, my mom couldn't stop him, and my dad, he was blind in a wheelchair, whatever. There wasn't much he could do. So they went out there. My 2 little sisters was young, you know what I'm saying? They wasn't going no goddamn where. And me, like I say, at that time I was 7. I had just turned 17. You know what I'm saying? This is 92. I just turned 17. So I was old enough to get out there because I was old enough to drive. You know what I'm saying? I already had my driver license. So I was moving, but they just didn't want me to go down there because I was still, technically still a minor or whatever the case may be. So I knew that my mom's had to go, I knew that the next day she had to go take my dad to, dialysis or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? He was a diabetic. And she would be gone all day. She was going to be going out the city with my sisters, little sisters, whatever the case may be. So that left me and my brothers at home. What the fuck you think we did the next day? Nigga, April 29th. I think it was April 29th, April 30th. Whatever day it was, when the riot started, the very next day, April 30th or May 1st, was somewhere up in there. Bro, we went out. Now, there was an AM PM about maybe about 200 or 300 yards away from our house. You know what I'm saying? Right there on the corner of Western and Century. Century is the main street that runs from the east side to the airport, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So we going down. So I go up to first place I go is AM PM. My brothers and them, they go hit up. We had a store out here called Kmart, and the Kmart was on Western and Imperial. Now, by this point, it had already been less than 24 hours, just 16 to 17 hours in. Now all of LA is on fire. You know what I'm saying? It started from Florence and Normandy, started from right there in that little section. Then it came up to Century. When it started going over to Crenshaw and Imperial, and Hawthorne Boulevard and Imperial, La Brea, all over the place. Then it trickled down into Watts and Comp. It was all over the place. So a lot of the businesses over there at that time was Korean-owned businesses, or Asian-owned businesses, or anybody that was non-black owned. And we seen people putting black-owned up on their stores. There was a couple liquor stores in the neighborhood. Like there was a liquor store named Shari's right there on Hobart and Century, right on our street, but straight down on Century, because we stayed maybe about 100 yards from, we was 100 yards from Century. So we would walk to that liquor store all the time. And Shari's was a black dude. I seen old man Shari standing on top of his truck in front of his store. He had blocked off the back entrance. He took his truck and put it up on the curb and was on the top of his truck with a shotgun. People already knew not to burn his business down, but he had a shotgun out there for whatever was cracking. That old man was crazy. And Shari, see, back in those days, you know how like when you see the name of a store, Eddie's Liquor or James Liquor, there's nobody named James working a motherfucker. That was probably the name of a person who started it. No, back in my times, y'all, back in the 90s and the 80s and all of that shit, if you named yourself after a store, if the name of the store was called Sean's Liquor, you could best believe Sean is in that motherfucker. This motherfucker was named Shari's Liquor, and old man Shari was right there at his store, man. And one thing, he was cool. The niggas did protect his store, whatever the case may be. But there was like a little carpet store, like a little carpet fabric shop, like a couple doors down from his, and it was owned by some Asians. That's what the fuck we did. Bust all the windows out, took all the shit up out of there. Niggas, I mean, what the fuck niggas running down the street with carpet for? Niggas was just looting all over the place. So my big brothers, they went to Kmart. Well, my oldest brother went to Kmart because at that time, I don't know if y'all remember, a lot of y'all might not be old enough to remember, but Kmart used to actually sell ammo. They used to sell, saying guns and ammo. They used to actually sell that in the sports department, So Kmart was huge. It was like the hood. It was like the first hood Walmart, so to speak. It was like Walmart, Target, all that shit roll into your one-stop shop. You know what I'm saying? They had all kind of shit in there. You know what I'm talking about? So my oldest brother went there. My second oldest brother, he went on to he came over to this side of town. Remember, we were standing on the west side at this point. But he came over to this side of town that I'm on now, Compton, Watts area, and niggas was looting over here. Even the Compton Court building, which is where a lot of the stuff was going on at, even that was shut down. The police couldn't do anything. Because remember, the National Guards, they hadn't sent the National Guards out yet. You know what I'm saying? We was doing what we was doing for like 3-4 days before the National Guards even thought about coming out. You know what I'm saying? So niggas had that window of time to get moving. So my brother, he came over to this side of town. My oldest brother went over to Imperial and Western to Kmart over there. Guess where I went, y'all? I went straight to AM/PM because everybody was looting food and clothes and shoes. Did nobody think about cracking open no damn cash registers? Now I could talk about this live now. It was 35 years ago. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm cracking it open. Boom. I'm like, man, everybody, niggas running there getting beer. You know what I'm saying? Everybody running up in there getting beer and condoms and, pulling shit, just chips, just dumb shit. Nigga, I walked in that motherfucker. Every store I went into, I'm looking at the damn cash register, the secret stash, because that AM/PM used to be the hood AM/PM. We used to go up in there all the time, get the little slushies. Whenever parents would send us up in there with big bills, whatever, they would have to go under the register to the little small box and get the big bills from up under there. You know what I'm saying? They did that, but we cleaned house around in that motherfucker, man. So I knew where everything was. Went up in there, cracked that motherfucker up, and boom, got all that shit. Hopped in my shit. At this time, I had a 1989 Nissan Maxima, y'all. 1989 Nissan Maxima. It had the keypad on the door. You know what I'm saying? You had to unlock the door with the keypad. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all don't know what the Nissan Maxima look like? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and look it up. You know what I'm talking about? And you'll see it had a little keypad in the door. 1989 Nissan Maxima. You know what I'm saying? I got that motherfucker for $1,500. You know what I'm saying? It was a domino game and a domino game of $1,500. You know what I'm saying? So got that shit, had it, was driving. Like I said, I was licensed. I've been having my license since I was 15. Because back then, you didn't have to be 18 to get your license. You could be 15 to get your license. Because remember, this is all before we even needed insurance. There was a point in Los Angeles, in California, you didn't need insurance. You didn't start needing insurance until 1996 when a bunch of the Mexicans started really coming over here, taking over, getting into accidents and stuff like that. So us needing insurance and all of that didn't come in until 1996. But there was no car insurance pre 1996. There was no car insurance, ladies and gentlemen. No car insurance. So I've been legally driving in the state of California, since 1989, 1990. So I've been driving for a long time out there, y'all. I've been knowing how to drive way before that. I learned how to drive when I was 9 years old. You know what I'm saying? I've been driving 40 years. You know what I'm saying? But legally driving, I learned, I got out there on the road about 35 years ago. And so I'm driving. I'm all over the place. So I leave AM PM. I go scoop up the homeboy Brandon, who stayed about a mile away or whatever the case may be. We all went to the same school. You know what I'm saying? He stayed about a mile away. I was going to Morningside, and he was going to Washington High School. You know, so right there off 108th and 108th and Normandy. You know what I'm saying? So he was going to school. I went to go swoop this nigga up, pick him up. He was, Brandon was from Grape Street, Watts. Went to go pick him up. He was like, "Oh, come get me, nigga. My car don't work." So I came get him. Hey, cuz, let's go. So, nigga, from there, we went all the way back over to the west side. We went to because he was staying like borderline east side, borderline west side. He stayed like close to Hoover. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of close to that's like the border is the east side, west side. Like if you go 2 streets over from Hoover, if you go a street over, you got after Hoover going east, you got Figueroa. Figueroa's the last street before you hit the 110 freeway. And then on the other side of 110 freeway, you got Broadway. That's the east side, y'all. So when you hit the 110 freeway going east, that's considered the east side of town. So he stayed off of Hoover. So he was like, right there. So we came and got, but he was from Grape though, because he stayed with his grandmother off of Hoover. But he was from Grape. He was from Watts. You know what I mean? So I went to go pick him up. And from there, we came all the way back to the west side, Western and Manchester. It's a church over there right now as I speak. But at that time, actually, it's a school now. It was a church. Well, first it was something called the Western Surplus. That's where they had all kind of army ammo, army munitions, knives, guns, like Rambo type shit up in that motherfucker. Then they closed it down eventually. Well, we closed it down during the riots, and then they turned it to like a church, and then eventually now it's a charter school over there. So I said, man, let's go to the Surplus. Everybody was going to go get food and stuff. We was the only ones thinking military shit. Now let's go to Western Surplus. Let's go get some camis. Let's go get some fatigues and stuff like that. Nigga, we went to the Western Surplus. We got all kind of shit out that motherfucker. I don't know to tell you up here what we got, but we got a couple hammers and we got some tools around the motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? Enough tools to do several jobs around the city. You understand what I'm talking about? So we had all kind of stuff, man. And ain't nobody I'm like, damn, this place is untouched. Nobody thought about going up in there, bro. We was I'm here to say we were the first motherfuckers to hit up the Western Surplus, yo. So we gets up in there, pull everything up out of there, boom, going about our business. You know what I'm talking about? And at this time, I had my Nissan Maximum, and then my mom had a station wagon. But she had a station wagon and she had a minivan. So I remember when she left, she didn't take the station wagon. She took the minivan because she had my sisters with her, and they was gonna go out and just be out of the city, whatever the case may be. And my dad, he was gonna be at Dallas's all day. He was going to Dallas's every day, or whatever the case may be. So, like this would be in the morning. So once they leave, we free to, we moving about the day. So I go back, I drop my car off and my mom had her keys hanging up for the station wagon and jumps in the station wagon because my Maxima was just too small for the shit I was about to go get. Bro, I went back, picked up the station wagon, the long ass Crown Vic station wagon, and drove all the way to Compton. Me and the homeboy Brandon drove all the way to Compton. We picked up another homeboy, another homie along the way. The nigga Chris. Picked up Chris, not Cuzzo, y'all. This was 1992. Cuzzo would have been a baby at this point. Yeah, I'm talking about. But when picked up the homeboy, Chris, he was going to another high school at the time. I think he was going to like Locke or something. Well, went to go pick up Chris. Went all the way to Compton, right across the street from the Compton Court building. There's a DD's over there now. It was a place called Circuit City. There's a place called Circuit City. So went all the way over there to the back. Guess what? They had the doors open waiting on us. Y'all talking about niggas was running out there with speakers and music equipment for their cars. I didn't care about none of that. I had all that shit at the home. I used to get that from the Slauson swap meet or whatever the case may be. So we goes up there, boom, crack the back door open, back doors open up the station wagon because my station wagon, the door didn't flip up. It opened to the side like a regular door would, but the window rolled down on that motherfucker. It had a back window, and the back window rolled down on that motherfucker. You know what I did? Got to that motherfucker, opened it up. Brandon and them, the homeboy Chris, they taking stuff out with guitars and all kind of shit that they don't even play. Just getting shit they could pawn later. Nigga, me, I was a keyboard guy. Mind you, I'm producing beats at this time. I'm still producing. So I go up in there, I give me an MPC machine. I got me an MPC. I got me an Akai 1500. Man, I put that all in the trunk. I got 3 long, big ass, I got a Casio keyboard. I got a Yamaha, and I got something called a Korg keyboard, a MIDI keyboard. So I had 3. Matter of fact, I got one of those keyboards right now to this day, the same keyboard I've been had all this time, bro. Every now and again, I bust that motherfucker out and play it. But I got that. I got a couple, all kind of shit, man. And this is like before the Guitar Center was like really famous. Now the Guitar Center has kind of like taken over. But it used to be Circuit City, y'all. Anybody from LA remember Circuit City? This is like before Best Buy and all that shit. Circuit City was the shit. Circuit City and Radio Shack, which is exactly the store we hit up next. Right next to that, on the other side of Circuit City, we had Savon drugstores. Went up to Savon, cleared Savon out. Next to Savon, it was a Ralph's. Went over there to Ralph, cleared that motherfucker out. Across the street, where it's a Food for Less now, in a Burlington Coat Factory, it was a what was that? I think was it an Alpha Beta? We cleared that motherfucker. We cleared out every place that we saw that was in there, and people was getting cleared, like people was clearing out. You know what I'm talking about? And so we cleared out just about every store. Then we came back to the east side. We came back to Watts. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't nothing really going on in Watts because everybody in Watts was on the west side looting and shit and doing what they was doing because there wasn't a lot of stores in Watts at the time. So next thing you know, the next coming from Watts and coming out of the east side, we was going to head downtown. We was going to head downtown going north. So what we did going down San Pedro and Manchester, there's a market called ABC Market. That's the market you see on your screen right now. ABC Market. ABC Market don't exist no more. That's the last one. Okay? So we go to ABC Market. We clean that motherfucker out. Now, ABC Market was the one we used to frequent when I would go to my grandmother and grandfather's house, whatever the case may be. They stayed off of 84th and San Pedro. That ABC Market you see on your screen is Manchester and San Pedro. So it's right down the street from their house. So I went up in there. We frequented that as little kids. You know what I'm saying? Been going there since the 70s. You know what I'm talking about? So went up in there. We already knew where all the stash was. Immediately went back to the stash, pulled that out, bro. Had to go all the way back home, drop the shit off in my garage. We had another car out there, one of my dad's lowriders, you know what I'm saying? It didn't work no more. It was gutted out and everything. We put the stash in there. My brother had his stash in his little location. My other brother had his stash in his location. We had stashes in the room because we it was a 3-bedroom house. So we had stashes there. You know what I'm saying? I had like a little tool shed. I put stashes there, put a lock on. Man, we all together, I ain't gonna lie to you. We had probably about altogether. We probably had about maybe $60,000-$70,000 worth of shit, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Food and candy and all kind of shit. Niggas was, at one point, niggas was just looting diapers. Niggas was looting all kind of stupid shit. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas was looting diapers and fucking Michael Jackson t-shirt. It was crazy, bro. So we did that shit for like 3 days straight, y'all. And then like after the third day, that's when we start seeing the National Guards come in. And them motherfuckers came in like gangbusters. Tall ass motherfuckers with big ass shields. They just came in. But by this time, we had already got done looting. So, but a couple of the homeboys were still out there looting and doing their thing, whatever the case may be. A couple of them niggas got caught up. Matter of fact, I got 2 homeboys in there right now to this day. 2 homeboys in there to this day that are in there as a result of the riots. In there because of that. But them niggas already had priors before that. You know what I'm saying? So it was a crazy scenario, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. But this was like the third or fourth day. And then after that, everything kind of started dying down because the National Guards kind of came in and like gangbusters swept everything up, put niggas in jail and everything like this. And this was like the day before that, Rodney King went on national television or whatever the case may be. And they forced him to do that "Can we all just get along" speech. That shit did not work. That shit fell on deaf ears. The city was already tired. Everything was going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Us in LA, we knew firsthand of the brutality the police department called. You know what I'm saying? Because in the 80s, they used to have something called the Batarang. And I think I've said this a couple of times, just, you know, on regular shows, they had a Batarang. Whenever they came to your house, whenever they suspected you of something, the drug dealer, whatever the case may be, you know, pimping, prostituting, whatever, they would come to you. I'm talking about 6 o'clock in the morning, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. They come to your house, niggas walking to school, come to your house with a tank. And they got a long pipe on the end of that tank, and the motherfucker got a plate right on the edge of it. And the plate is like an NBA backboard. That's how big the motherfucker is. And it's welded onto this long ass pipe. And then they come in there and they drive the motherfucker right up to your front door, boom, knock your shit, and then back out. And when they pull out, the plate catches on the wall and pull everything the fuck down, man. And they used to do this shit all through Compton, all through Watts, all through South Central. They wasn't really doing that shit on the West Side like that because West Side was kind of cleaner. It was, you know, but the East Side was known for being kind of grimy. So ain't no telling what you was gonna catch, you know, niggas doing on my side of town, you know. So they would do that shit. They would just pull down. And this was in the 80s. And, you know, they was like taking out like gangbangers or suspected gangbangers. This is what the police was doing. They was doing this and then blaming it on rival gangs. So like anytime a nigga would like try to truce up or peace up or whatever the case may be, cops would do some foul shit, and we knew it was the cops because sometimes when they would harass us, they would tell us like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, you don't want to end up like your buddy such and such, yada yada. You know what I'm talking about? It was crazy, y'all. It was crazy. And then another thing in the 80s, I think I said this time and time again, the Batcave, like they would drop off weapons and stuff like that, like because Watts is bordered by like train tracks or whatever, going all the way into, you know, East LA and stuff like that. And then the freeway right there is borders it too. Well, under the streets, on certain streets, they have like train depots, and under the streets they have like different labyrinths of stuff. We used to, you know, journey when we was kids. You hit the sewer, you go through the projects, you go down into like the sewer pipe where crawl down the ladder, and it was like a basement full of stuff down. All kind of shit was down there, but along the train tracks, they would just dump out random spots, boxes of guns and knives and all kind of stuff, bro. And we used to pick up stuff, and it's like they had a tag on it. You know what I'm saying? Because wasn't nobody thinking about social security numbers or anything, filing off the numbers and nothing like that. So we'll be rolling by, we see that, hey, what the hell is this? Kick a box open, boom. Nigga, you got AK-4, you got M27, you got military grade shit. Like, where the fuck did this come from? And then you go further down, you're like, what else can I find on the tracks? Man, you kick up a box, you got it's counterfeit money in that motherfucker. You don't know, because we don't know how to check money. We see bundles of dollar bills and hundreds and 20s and 5s and 50s. We're like, oh shit, we didn't came up. And they wait for you to do that shit, and your ass get caught the fuck up. So one time, I picked up something, man. I was walking with a group of niggas. We walk on the train track or whatever, because this is how we should get from Watts to Compton, Compton to Watts. You know what I'm saying? The train track go all the way through Watts. You got the blue line there now. The blue line and the green line. Now, before that, this is pre-1991, 92, 93, when they opened up these things. Before that, we used to walk along what's known as the 105 freeway now. It wasn't the freeway there then. It was called the Dips. It was just a trench where they was doing construction to build the 105 freeway and the ramps and stuff like that, and the train tracks and stuff like that. Before that, it was just trenches and railroad tracks from the big trains coming through, passing through Watts, whatever the case may be. They would carry cargo shit, because if the train was going slow enough, we just get close to it and just jump on the motherfucker. And sometime, if we were lucky and we're trying to go from Watts to Compton, the train is going to take us straight to Compton, drop us right off at what's now known as the Artesia station. So we'll hop on the back of that motherfucker. It's going slow enough. Remember, Watts and Compton is next door to each other. So we just take that one little long ride down along what would be Willowbrook Avenue. So we're going down that street, somewhere along between Artesia and Compton Boulevard. We jump off. You know what I'm saying? We jump off right there, and we in Compton. And from that point, we can go any four ways, any four directions. So, but we will find stuff. One time I found something, I took it home to my mom. Mom was like, "Where you find this at?" She's like, "We're trying to over there at the train tracks right there." Where? Say, "Did you guys touch anything?" He's like, "No, we just picked up the boxes, brought the motherfucker home." So she's like, she hop in the car, she takes that motherfucker to the police department. Hey, the kids are playing along the train. They found this. Made sure they didn't touch nothing. Man, they dusted fingerprint, all kind of shit. And it was like, first they made a big scene, like, "Oh man, freeze! What are you bringing this?" Like, but them motherfuckers was dropping it off, y'all. This is how they used to do us. And then, like, or if they catch you with something, like, they'll wait to the right time. They catch you, creep up on you. Next thing you know, you got gun in hand, kids playing cops and robbers right there, got the gun in hand, or whatever the case may be. Police pull right up on you. Of course, niggas young, they go tell their older gang banging brothers and cousins about it. So they come up here, "Oh shit, cuz blood. Oh shit, it's going down." They go up there. Next thing you know, they catch a nigga with a gun in the hand. Not really his gun. It's just some shit he found in that box or the crate. Catch him with a gun in his hand. The police pull up, beat the nigga, shoot the nigga. Niggas in wheelchairs now because of that shit. They would set niggas up, y'all. They had something called the crash unit out here. 1988, 87, 89, the crash unit. So by the time this Rodney King thing happened, enough was enough. And it wasn't even necessarily about the Rodney King shit. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, nobody give a fuck about no goddamn Rodney King. Who was he? He was nobody. To be honest with you, niggas was just tired of the brutality, period. So in 1992, it came to a head. Now, something else happened in 1992. The Watts Truce, aka known as the LA Peace Treaty. And that was in 92, around the time where, even though this was actually like coinciding with the riots, whatever, the looting and stuff like that. So it all started at this time. I was always hanging out in Watts, you know what I'm saying? Because a bunch of my homeboys lived in Watts. Even though we didn't go to the same school, this was niggas that I grew up with. Because by this time we were living on the west side. But remember, I'm from Watts, you know what I'm saying? I was raised in Watts, you know what I'm saying? When they brought a nigga home from Jersey, you know what I'm saying? Watts was where I was raised at. And I was raised there until we moved from Watts in 1987. So it was like the first 12, 13 years of my life, that's where I was. You know what I'm talking about? So at this time I was hanging out. I was hanging out a lot after we did the riots and stuff like that. I was already hanging out over there before then, and after, whatever the case may be, we'd drive over there, we'd get picked up, go over there. I had a girlfriend over there at the time, you know what I'm saying, that stayed not too far. So the first truce that I knew about began between Grape Street. Like I say, my brother's from there, both of my parents were from there in the 60s and 70s, late 60s, early 70s. And my brother was from there. So I was good over there. You know what I'm saying? I was such and such little bro, so I was cool. But I knew niggas in all the projects, because out here in LA, well, and mainly in the Watts area, we have 5 major projects. You know what I'm saying? Well, 4 major projects. We got the Jordan Downs, we got the Imperial Courts, and we got the Nickersons, and we got the Haciendas, or the Gonzaleses. Now, the Jordan Downs is home to Grape Street. That's a Grape Street stronghold. The Imperial Courts is home to a Crip gang called PJ Watts. The Bounty Hunters is home to the Nickersons are home to the Bounty Hunters, and then the Hacienda Village Boys is home to the their home is the Gonzalez projects, or the Gonzalez project. So I knew people from all of them. Like I said, I was a neutral guy at that time already. But when the peace treaty went down, all 4 of those gangs were warring with each other. All 4 of those gangs were going back and forth. You had the Bounty Hunters and Grapes. You know what I'm saying? They, mortal enemies and Watts. Of course, you had the Bebops. That's a blood gang. There was a war with Grape. Grape was pretty much warring with everybody except PJ Watts. They wasn't really enemies at this point. They were still cool. You know what I'm saying? But then things got messy, whatever. Then they started beefing, and Grape Street just started beefing with everybody in the city. You know what I'm talking about? So to see them to see the truce pretty much start over there with them, the 2 biggest gangs in Watts, 2 most dangerous gangs in Watts, the Bounty Hunters and Grape Street Crips, that set off a chain reaction all over the rest of Watts, and then eventually it started spreading to certain parts of LA. And this was all during the time of the riots. A guy named Mike Conception, he was a part of it. Ice-T, the rapper, was a part of it. Jim Brown, the football player. You know what I'm saying? The old football player, he was a part of it. A bunch of different people, some of the OG niggas, you know what I'm saying? Niggas coming from the west side, niggas from the east side, all kind of people, you know what I'm saying? Names I can name, names I can't name. You know what I'm saying? They all got together and they put together the peace treaty. And then the rapper Cam, you know what I'm saying? A nigga I know well, one of my friends, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Cam, actually, him and my oldest brother are, they real tight. They're around the same age. He put out a song called Peace Treaty. This was in 1993, because the peace treaty lasted a good while. And then I'm going to tell you how shit happened, after that shit had died down. But he put out a song called Peace Treaty. And Ice-T did a song, he called Got a Lot of Love, you know what I'm saying, off his Home Invasion album. Eazy-E put out Real Motherfucking G's, you know what I'm saying, at this time. And it was, everything was cool. You know what I'm saying? Everything was cool. Niggas was coming together. Niggas was having football games. It was safe to walk down Imperial at that time, safe to walk down Century, because everybody know the Century and Imperial were 2 streets, because Century went east and west. It ran from the east side to the west side. So if you coming from Inglewood, West LA, the west side, you had 2 main streets you can hit. You can hit Century, takes you all the way down to Watts, or you can take Imperial, takes you all the way down to Watts. Now Century take you all the way down to Watts to the back of the Jordan Down projects. That's Grape Street hood. And then Imperial will take you all the way down to the front of the Nickerson Gardens. That's Bounty Hunter hood, Bounty Hunter Bloods hood. So Century and Imperial, those streets before the riots, you couldn't walk down. You if you stop at a gas station, it better be in the middle of the day with a whole bunch of witnesses around, because you could not get caught on any one of those streets and didn't know somebody. And you better name the right motherfucker. Don't go looking on the wall naming a nigga, because they're gonna know. Nigga, how you know Blood? That nigga been dead for 17 years. How you know Blood? Oh, nigga, you lying. Come with us. I'd but see me, I've been good. I've always been good all over the place. You know what I'm talking about? Because a lot of people knew who my father was in the 70s and my mother. And then my father, he was the type of dude, even though he was a Crip, he's first generation. Even the Bloods respected him, because my father was known. Like my father was a nigga that knocked you out. He didn't believe in guns and shit like that. My pops put hands on niggas. You know what I'm saying? My pops, quick story about Pops. This was like 84, because my mom was driving for the 84 Olympics. She was driving school buses at the time, and she was responsible for driving, one of the bus drivers driving for the Olympics, and that's how she got her Olympic 1984 Olympic medal. And then Ronald Reagan gave all the bus drivers a commemorative presidential medal, you know what I'm saying, that I still have to this day. And there was a dude coming, like he was coming on side of the house, whatever the case may be. And I was at home with Pops. It was just me and him at home. We were sitting chilling or whatever. And we had one of them big roundabout TVs, you know, the big fat cube box TVs that you spin around on the axis. And you sit in the living room and we watching All My Children. And you could kind of see like shadow going alongside the house or whatever. It's the middle of the day. So you figure out it's probably one, a neighbor or my grandfather, he stayed upstairs. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather Major stayed upstairs. So it could have been them, anything. But usually if you look outside and you see Major's Cadillac gone, they wasn't there. If his Cadillac was gone, that means him and my grandma was gone. So we figured, there might be kids running around the side of anybody, the neighbor or anybody. So I go to the bathroom, and when I go into the bathroom, the window always stayed cracked open or whatever the case may be. Go to the bathroom, a dude darts right past the bathroom. Like he like it didn't look like he was somebody that I had ever seen in the neighborhood or anything like that. But he looked suspicious, like he was trying to get around. Like it's not like he was running through the yard or anything. He was trying to get around the house. And we had our dog in the house at the time. We had a big ass German Shepherd named Duke. We had him inside the house at the time. So my dad, watching TV, and I came, Lord, hey, Daddy, somebody around in the backyard. So Pop was like, oh, yeah? Okay. So he was like, let Duke out. He was like, I'm going to go around the front. Because the idea was to let our dog out. He go around, catch the nigga in the back. The dude try to run around the side of the house to the front. Pop's going to cut him off. That shit worked perfectly. Let Duke out. Duke ran out there. He said, let Duke out and lock the door. And he locked the door, locked the back door, and then come up and lock the front door. And I'm going outside. He went around outside, man. Soon as Duke come around, chase him around the side of the house, Pops come out, and I could hear my Pop sock this nigga. Wow! He hit him hard too. Crack! Nigga was knocked out. Pops knocked him out, picked him up, threw him over his shoulder, brought him out to the front yard. He hit him with the water hose, like sprayed the water hose on him. Get up, cuz. Now, at this time, we living in a blood neighborhood. We living in a neighborhood called the Swans, 84th from San Pedro. So them, most of them niggas stayed across the street, but they was cool with Pops. You know what I'm saying? So they knew who he was, and they know who OG Casper was, aka Tiny. They know who he was. So he was like, this nigga running around the house, the Bloods sitting across the street or whatever, and ain't knowing nothing. Sitting across the street, Pops was like, y'all know this nigga? Because I don't know this nigga. No, we don't know that nigga Blood. We don't know that nigga. Pops was like, this nigga just tried to break in my house, man. Oh, hell no. You had a little man in there too? With you too? Oh, no, hell no, Blood. And them niggas came over there, got this nigga, took this nigga across the street with them and beat his ass again. Beat the fuck out of this. I'll never forget that. I'm standing right there in the screen door. You know what I'm saying? Looking at Pop, this dude beating the fuck out of this dude. Pops come back. You know what I'm talking about? He went in the kitchen. He got his long ass pack of fucking Pall Mall cigarettes, them long ass brown cigarettes in the 80s. He got those motherfuckers, came back, sat on the porch, and he was just sitting there chilling. You know what I'm saying? Smoking a cigarette. And back in the day when niggas get a pack of cigarettes, they always like slap the bottom of the pack. He was one of them type of niggas. And then he would never put the cigarette in his pocket, the pack of cigarettes in his pocket. What he would do is he'll have his sleeves rolled up on his shirt. He always had a button-up shirt on, and then he'll put the cigarette packet in his upper sleeve. He'll like roll the motherfucker up in his sleeves. He did. Because Pops had some gigantic ass arms. So he'd just come out there, sit out there on the porch, and he had some corduroys on and some corduroy house shoes, and nobody fucked with him. Crip living in the blood neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? That's my Pops, man. I seen my Pops lay niggas out. So he was known. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, he come from Tookie in them era. And these dudes is old school. They was the first Crips. So they came up fighting. That's what they did. Before guns, these niggas would go to the park and rumble. So Pops came from that shit. So he just never adopted the mentality to pick up guns and anything. They would use chains, poles, pipes, sticks, glass bottles, knives, razor blade. They would use all that shit, but niggas never pick up a gun. You know what I'm talking about? So during that time, man, the treaty, during the time of the treaty, niggas just had it up to here, had enough. And it was very, very quiet as far as I can remember for over a year in LA. It was very, very quiet. Nearing the end of 93, that shit was broke. I can't tell you when it broke, but I can tell you how the main reason why it broke was because the police was going around doing some slick shit. I even caught a motherfucker one time. You know what I'm saying? Coming down the street or whatever the case may be. I'm driving. They got some niggas hemmed up over in the corner on Imperial. I hear one of the cops say, because there's a gas station right across the street from where I was. I stopped by the gas station and I'm riding by and I hear one of the motherfuckers say, yeah, how would you feel if your little homies knew what the fuck y'all was doing? Y'all going through territories, fucking with their girls and stuff like that. You know, what if you like everything is smooth right now, motherfucker? Like I'm hearing them say all kind of shit. And this is black cops. Everything's smooth right now, motherfuckers. But what would your enemies think? Or what would these motherfuckers think if they knew you was coming through here fucking with their sisters and their girlfriends and stuff like that? And this was the precursor to the end of the treaty. So I'm thinking like, damn, these niggas is really out here setting motherfuckers up. And then, of course, the main reason why the shit broke was over a girl. That's the main reason. Now, of course, there are several different accounts. But the account that pops up the most, if you ask anybody that was around at that time, they'll tell you the treaty broke. The truce broke because of a girl, because of a woman. And that's generally what happens. Is always because of a woman. And the police perpetuated that shit. So just, we just had up to here, man. Burnt Los Angeles down. It's not the first time that we did it. 27 years before the 92 riots, we had something called the Watts riots. Okay, I wasn't born at that time. That was 10 years before I was thought about. But my parents were in the middle of it at that time. They were teenagers. I'm talking about kids and stuff like that. So they were in the middle of it. So I can't really do no story on that. I can only go off of what they told me. But the 92 Watts riots or the 92 LA riots was riots that I saw with my own two eyes, y'all. So I can speak on it. I was there. I'm not one of the type of niggas that just lived through it, was born. A lot of people was born around that time or were kids at the time. No, nigga, I was in it, lived through it, old enough to be a part of it. Because at that time, I'm 17. So I had just turned 17. This is March 91. When they indict the dudes, they're acquitted. April of 92. Set it off. By this point, I had already turned 17. I was already out in the street doing my thing, this and that. And it was just a crazy year. 91 to 93 was crazy, crazy years, y'all. And then a year later, here come this OJ situation. And guess what? Niggas was thinking about rioting again. They was waiting to see if OJ would have got convicted. By this time, I'm living in Gardena. I got my own little spot. They was waiting to see if OJ get convicted. OJ get convicted. Niggas was the city was already going crazy. Now at this time, I'm in the core. I got my apartment. I'm already in service now. I'm already in service, so I'm kind of away from that shit. You know what I mean? But you could tell the tensions were high. When I was at home, the tensions were high. Like, man, if they convict this dude, we're gonna burn this motherfucker down again. And I couldn't get out of the court fast. I wanted to come home so bad. Like, ooh, I want to be a part of that shit again. Ooh, and this time, like all the shit that I missed, like niggas didn't hit no banks or nothing. Like I was thinking all kind of shit. Like, ooh, please find the nigga guilty so we can turn the motherfucker down. It was crazy, man. It was just a crazy ass time, yo. So you know what I'm talking about. But let me go up here and see who's in the chat, y'all. Let me go ahead and see who's in the chat. Y'all been talking, man. Y'all been talking. Let me go get up here right quick. Let's find out who's here. You know what I'm talking about? Go James Cuzzo. He said, damn, that shit lasted a week. Hey, yeah, man. It lasted about a week, bro. It seemed like it was longer than that, bro, because the days was like it was just some long days, bro. Long days. And we had 3 long days to tear this motherfucker up before the National Guards even came in, bro. So yeah, that shit, it was a week, but it seemed like it was longer than that. To me, it seemed like a month. To me. You know what I'm talking about? Sammy the Man said, April and May, salute Go James and bro. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Autism boy Cottage 81. He said, hey, Major Level Entertainment. Yeah, man. What's up? What's up, young man? What's up? Said salute, chat room. Salute, salute. Go James said, how many police or even you want to add sheriff department y'all got down there? Man, I can't name them all, but we got a lot of them. During that time in Compton had the sheriff's they had a sheriff's department in Compton. You know, you had Compton Sheriff's Department, you had 77th Street Division. The police department had 108th Street Division. You had Rampart, you had Newsom Division, you had Hollenbeck Division. The Rampart Division is the one who, you know, responsible for beating Rodney King, I believe. But you got the Newton Division, you got the Hollenbeck Division, Hollywood, pretty much every county and city and sub-city, whether it's corporated or incorporated, had a police department or a sheriff department. So several, bro. So too many to count. I can't name them all. But we had a bunch of them, you know what I'm talking about. Of course, you got the highway patrol. And whenever some civil unrest happened like that, they always send in the military. When the police, when urban warfare comes about and they can't do anything about it, niggas was beating up cops. During the riots, regular cops, regular beat cop walking the street, your regular average every day, they was beating the fuck out of them niggas, beating their asses. Hey, pull over. You pull over, come up to your car, you know what I'm saying? Don't move. Yeah, right, motherfuckers doing a wild goose chase, boom, take a nigga to, like, man, we was beating niggas up, bro. It was crazy. It was pandemonium out there. You know what I'm talking about? Go James says, salute Cottage. You know what I'm talking about? Autism Cottage boy said, I remember the 1992 riots, 100% Major. You know what I'm talking about? Autism boy, how old was you, man? How old was you in 92? Said, yeah, so yes. Ryan Anthony said, happy Saturday, young brother. Tiffany Ned, salute Major and everyone. Salute Tiffany Ned. Thank you for showing up to the channel. Appreciate you. Go James says, Sister Tiff. Michael said, yeah, I remember Eddie's Liquor. Yeah, Eddie's. There's a lot of Eddie's Liquor. You got them in Long Beach, but the main one was right there on 108th and Western. That was the main one. Go James is laughing at me. He said, Tiffany Ned said, salute, brother Chris. Tiffany Ned said, I used to shop at Kmart back in the day. Yeah, ain't no more of the motherfuckers out here now. You know what I'm saying? I think the last one they had was on Slauson in Vermont. I think it was the one I remember saying. Yeah, I remember that about Kmart. Yeah, Mike Alexander. Go James says Kmart is just about gone now. Hey, they are gone. There's no Kmarts out this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? As far as I know, you know what I'm talking about. Autism boy, yeah, he said, Micah, salute, bro, salute. Micah, Guilt James said, salute, Micah. Autism boy said, hey, Miss Tiffany Ned, hey, yo. Mike Alexander said, them Maximas were hard. Yeah, I had a 1989 one, man. That motherfucker was the shit. Micah said, what up, y'all? You know what I'm saying? Micah, any thoughts on 1992 LA riots? Go James says, this was one of the last stores in that picture. Yeah, hey, Cuzzle, that store, that exact store, we hit that store, bro. Like when we came from Compton, I remember coming from Compton because we was, instead of going straight back down, instead of going straight back west, we were heading south. No, we were heading northwest. We were heading north because we was getting ready to hit downtown or maybe possibly going to East LA. And this store right here was on Manchester and San Pedro. It's a Mexican food market now, but it was Manchester and San Pedro, and we went right up in that motherfucker because my grandparents stayed right down that street. They stayed off 84 for San Pedro. So we went right up in that motherfucker, cleared the whole. And see, back in those days, they used to have like what they call bulk candy. Like they had all the like peppermints, they would be in barrels, peppermints, root beer candy, the little caramels, like all the candies you see in your grandmama's purse at church, they had all the motherfuckers laid out, bro. And we used to go in that motherfucker and just, oh my God, those were the fucking days, man. We used to clean up in that motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? Autism Boy says, tell me, Micah. Go James says, that station wagon was the car for most moms back in the day. Yeah, in fact, bro. Like my mom had that motherfucker, bro. It was 1980. It was a 1987 Crown Vic station wagon. That motherfucker was long, and like it was mine. Eventually, I took it from her. She didn't want it anymore. Took it from her. I put that motherfucker on some rims. I lowered it. Put on. I kind of turned it into like a lowrider. Put that motherfucker on some rims, and I had some 100-spoke Daytons. I had some 100 spokes on that motherfucker with some Daytons, and silver. And that motherfucker was nice. You know what I'm talking about? I had the steering wheel taken out and put a chain link steering wheel on that motherfucker. It was nice. The interior was already like a velvet blue, and the car itself was white. That motherfucker was hard, bro. I'll never forget that station wagon. You know what I'm talking about? 70 Man says, I'm glad it's coming from the real, not gimmick. All 100% real source. Oh yeah, man. I was there, bro. I was there. Like I say, Sammy, a lot of niggas, of course, a lot of niggas were born after 92, born before 92, whatever the case may be. You got some niggas born in 89, 87, 88, but they would have been old enough to remember a lot of that stuff. See, a lot of niggas, if you were, I'll say it's a 92, I'll say if you were younger than 15 at that time, hell no, I'll go even lower than that. I'll say if you were 12 or younger, if you were 12, 13 or younger, you were not old enough to fully remember that. If you were 15 or younger, you were not old enough to even participate in that. See, I was damn near pushing. I was closer to grown than I was a kid. I mean, I was already driving. I was already having sex. I was already doing what grown people do anyway. You know what I'm talking about? At that time. So not only did I see it, but I lived it. I had items to this day from that time. You know what I'm saying? So my experience is a lot different. Niggas say, yeah, I remember that. Oh, yeah. You remember it, or did you live the motherfucking shit? I lived it, was in the thick of it. I got out there, cracked a couple heads my damn self. You know what I'm talking about? But it was a fun time. Oh my God, man. And I could talk about it now because it was years after the fact. But I still got homies in there now from that time, bro. I got homies in there from that time. 19 years old, 20 years old from that time that ain't came home yet. Because niggas already had priors. I got a homeboy right now. You know what I'm saying? Homeboy Blackie. Blackie's still in there to this day. You know what I'm saying? He got caught, not necessarily in the riots, but he got caught up in that same year. He got caught up, because they had merchandise at his house, and he was trying to sell the shit out of his house. And the nigga got caught up on some other shit, man. Then they found other shit on him. He got caught up, and they gave this motherfucker 30 to life. They gave him 30 to life. And this was back in 92, 30 to life. That dude's still in there to this day. Now the nigga he's in it. He got to be in it. 50. He got to be like 50, 53, 54 now, because the motherfucker was like 3, 4, or 5 years older than I am. So he's like around my brother's age and stuff like that. So it was crazy, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Sammy the Man said, yes, sir. I remember Fedco. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Said Fedco was before Costco. Before Costco, it was something. Before Costco, the day y'all know as Costco, it was called Price Costco. Price Costco. And then before Price Costco, it was called the Price Club. And it was only one right there on Yukon or is it Yukon? Yeah, it was right there on Yukon and Century. Yukon and Century, right there in Inglewood, right across the street from Morningside High School, the high school I went to. One of the high schools I went to. So yep, it was called the Price Club. Costco today was called Price Club. So you had Sam's Club. We didn't have any Sam Club out here at the time. Sam Club and Price Costco got together, and that's how they became. Well, the Price Club and Sam's Club at the time became together, and they became Samco. It was called Samco and the Price Club, and then when they merged together, they became the Price Club and Samco came together. They became Price Costco, and then they became Costco. Yep. So that's how that came up. Tiffany Ness said, I remember Circuit City and Radio Shack. Yeah, we had them all over the city. I used to clean them motherfuckers out. Man, whew, man, all my radio equipment. We had all kind of stuff down here. Oh man, we had all kind of shit down here, man. You know what I'm saying? But usually I would get all my like auto equipment from like the Slauson Swap meet. Now, I will say this, in the middle of all of this, and it was riots going on around there too. Nobody touched the Slauson Swap meet, y'all. And I'm gonna tell you why nobody touched the Slauson Swap meet. A lot of people don't know this, but the Slauson Swap meet the building is owned and ran by Muslims. The Nation of Islam runs the Slauson Swap meet. You don't believe me? Go up there to this day. The security guards in that motherfucker is Nation of Islam bodyguards. Go up in there with that. One thing I noticed, I don't give a fuck what hood you from, where you from. Nobody fuck with the nation. Nobody fuck with the nation. You run up in that motherfucker if you want to. They cater to everybody. They cool with everybody. But them niggas is in there with ARs, M27s, military grade shit, license to carry. Most of them dudes is ex-military anyway, paramilitary anyway. One of the heads of security that used to be over there was Black Ops. And you came over there with that riot bullshit, even though that's a heavy blood neighborhood. That's the Brims over there. Right there, Slauson Swap meet, that's like blood territory right there. You got the Brims right there. Down the street, you got the VNGs. That VNGs is Van Ness Gangsta Bloods. You got all the dudes. Hey, none of them niggas even thought about coming to the SWAT. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I would slid past that motherfucker to see what was cracking. Because I was gonna go up in there, seen them niggas stand out there on the roof with them guns out. They had the parking lot lined up, and it was all in V patterns. I'm like, yep, come through that motherfucker. They tearing it's gonna look like the 4th of July around that motherfucker. But the Slauson Swap meet is the only thing didn't get touched. They burned down buildings around that motherfucker. They burned down. It was across the street. There was a place called Pick and Save. Pick and Save is now known as Big Lots now. Just for those of y'all that don't know, y'all remember Pick and Save? If you in LA, no Pick and Save, it became Big Lots. They tore that motherfucker down right across the street, but they left that Slauson alone. It was pandemonium, y'all. Pandemonium. So yeah, during that time, man, it was crazy. It was going down. And the Bandwagoneer said, yo, what's up? What's up, Bandwagoneer? You know, Tiffany Nett said, salute Cuba. Autism Boy, hey, Tiffany Nett. She said, salute Autism Boy. Autism Boy, Tiffany Nett, is everything okay? Everything. What do you 100% think, Queen Tiffany? Main Event said, salute, chat. Tiffany said, that was my classic song by Eazy-E, Real G's. Yeah, that shit. That we used to bump that. Oh my God, man. I had a Buick Roadmaster. Y'all know what a Roadmaster is? It's like a station wagon. Huge. Snoop made that motherfucker pop. I had a Buick Roadmaster, and I had 4 12s in the back of that motherfucker. Man. And pump coming down the street, bumping Compton City G's. I'm coming down Imperial. And I'm the only nigga in the city that had that, you know, that color of car. So they knew it was me. It was like a metallic black. And I had that motherfucker sitting on. See, back in those times, niggas didn't really care about the big rims. Big rims would come out to like the late 90s and shit like that. All that no limit shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas that had cars way the fuck up here. All, you know, lowrider and then small ass rims and tires. I'm talking about 10s. You know, I'm talking about, you know, on Dayton's 100 spokes. We used to call them 100 spokes. You know what I'm saying? I had that shit. I'm coming down the street. That shit was hard. I ended up having to sell the shit. The police took it from me. I went got that motherfucker out the impound. I ended up selling that motherfucker for I sold it for 10,500 to an SA dude in Hawthorne. So yeah. Go James says Paul Malls. You know what I'm talking about? You remember the Paul Mall cigarettes? Pall Mall, Paul Malls, however you call them. Them motherfuckers was long as a bitch. It was like, them motherfuckers look like cinnamon sticks. I'm like, God damn, Pops, what the hell is that you smoking? Yeah, you know, the Pall Malls running there, running there in the kitchen and off the top of the refrigerator and grabbing my damn Pall Malls, Paul Malls. You know what I'm talking about? Look, he always put the motherfuckers on the refrigerator because he liked them warm and shit. Yeah, refrigerator, warm them up for your boy. You know what I'm talking about? Pops, man. Rest in peace, Pops. And Goat James says, was people working at the store them days? Or was everything? Nah, cuz everything was shut down. Niggas wasn't coming to work. Like, now, I ain't gonna lie to you. The first day when they went down, niggas was in stores, but niggas was leaving they posts. Like, nigga, I ain't about to stay here for this shit. I'm getting the fuck up out of here. Niggas was going around them, Rob. Hey, man, hey, excuse me, sir. Hey, man, let me go ahead and get them keys. I don't want to break no windows or anything. Let me get them keys so I can get that thing looking behind the thing, you know? Man, niggas was leaving. Now, the next day, it wasn't a store open. Motherfuckers was closed down, boarded up. But see, by this time, niggas didn't back their cars into, what storefronts and niggas. Man, I seen a nigga pick up a small TV. He flung that motherfucker by the cord. He flung the TV by the cord, bust the window open, got up in there and pulled him. It was doing snatch and grab. It was just crazy, man. And I was in the midst of all that shit. I was like, yes, get these motherfuckers. But then, it was crazy. Something crazy happened. In the middle of all this shit, bro, we had to think. Most of us go to these grocery stores like ABC Markets, Ralph's. There was a market at the time called The Boys Market. We had Lucky. We had Alpha Betas. We burnt down all these motherfuckers and looted in our own communities. But it wasn't until all this shit was over and our grandmamas had to go shopping when they got them food stamps next month. They had to go way out the fucking city to go shopping. So if niggas was living on the east side, niggas had to go all the way to fucking damn near downtown to go shopping. Niggas had to go to Culver City. Niggas was going like places that was barely touched. Niggas had to go we had to go into other communities. And at this time it was hard for us because now the police is pulling niggas over. The fuck is you greasy head, flat top wearing ass, Jerry curl headed ass niggas coming way the fuck down here to Culver City? The fuck is y'all niggas doing down here? You Compton Watts ass nigga. We can smell the east side on y'all. Niggas come to jail. And see, at that time, nigga, I still have my Jerry curl, nigga. I had a curl. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, my shit was dripping. You know what I'm talking about? We had this stuff called snapback, bro. I think I'm going to do a show on like nostalgic stuff because I'm from that era. But we had this stuff called snapback. Now, my hair is naturally, a little different from, regular nigga hair, right? So my shit curl up, right? I let the shit. Well, I seen Cube in NWA. He straight out of Compton. That nigga named Ice Cube. The nigga with an attitude. And I was like, oh shit. Look at that nigga hair. Oh shit. Hey man, let me go down here to the Slauson and grab me a Raiders starter jacket and a starter hat. Cause see, at that time, I've been a Giants fan all my life, but the Raiders was famous. The Raiders, the Kings, of course, the Lakers. But nobody wearing a damn Laker hat like that. You don't want to damage your Laker hat. But the Raider hat, because it was all black, the Kings hat was all black. And nigga go down to Slauson. Nigga, I don't give a fuck if you was a Cowboy fan, Raider fan, 49er fan, Seattle Seahawks fan, whatever fan you was, you had to get one of them damn hats because the NWA. And nigga, I got one of them hats, nigga, and my curl just as long as Easy E shit. Nigga, curl hanging out the sides and shit. And then when the motherfucker dry out or I run out of Jerry curl, I run out of activator, nigga, I'll take the pick. That we had to pick. I still got one too. They got the pick with the little black fist on it, the black power fist. I picked the size of my curl out, and that motherfucker turned into a puffy afro. So now, nigga, I got the hat on and the damn hair puffing out the sides and the back and shit. Nigga, nigga. And then I had the glasses, the Lokes. You know what I'm saying? The real dark glasses, called them niggas Lokes. Nigga, I look like an NWA member. You know what I'm talking about? Big black, swole. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, those were the fucking days, bro. And then at the time, then my girl made me cut that shit off. She's like, man, cut that shit off. You like cut that greasy shit off, greasing up goddamn bedroom pillows and shit like that. She made me cut the motherfucker off. I cut it off. And I was like, well, damn, what can a nigga have? Like, goddamn, can a nigga have it? Because braids wasn't really as popular as they are today. Then we had them, but not like that. Niggas don't think about no braids. It was either Jerry curls, flat top, high top fades, curly top with the ducktail, a Gumby. I had a Gumby too. I had a Gumby. 89, nigga, I had a Gumby like a motherfucker. But my Gumby wouldn't stay up because my shit wasn't nappy. You had to have a nappy hair you remember Bobby Brown used to wear his shit? His shit would stay perfect because that nigga had nappy nigga hair. My shit ain't like that. You know what I'm talking about? So my shit would kind of hang over. So I had to put a bunch of like fucking grease. We had this grease called Murray's. That shit was thick. You take a finger, you dip in that motherfucker, and you scoop a whole handful of that motherfucker up, and then you have to slick it up. Now your shit shining like a motherfucker. You looking like Jermaine Jackson or something. Nigga, those days was crazy, man. The way we should do our hair, bro. Hey, that shit was nigga. I had the MC Hammer. Nigga, that shit was bro, that shit was crazy. It was crazy back in those days. You know, talk about Go James said, yeah, man, damn, y'all had stores next to the school? Hell yeah, bro. Like almost every school had a store next to it, bro. Gas station, store. It's crazy. This is how it was in LA, bro. Gas station, store, school, church, store, school, church, maybe a little house, little corner store, church, house, church, liquor store. It was just, that shit. It was like a Scooby Doo scene, like you know, like how Scooby Doo be running, him and Shaggy be running, and then the background, like every other frame, you'll see like the same tree. Then you'll see a house, and then the chimney, and then the tree, and then the house. And then it was crazy. LA was crazy, bro. It was crazy. And then all my out of state cousins was like, nigga, hell no, we ain't coming down there. You know what I'm talking about? My cousins on my dad's side on the East Coast. Like, no, we ain't coming down there. Midwest ain't coming down there. And then on my mom's side, they from the South. You know, they are from Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, all up in there. They was like, hell no, we ain't coming down there. I had my cousin Tony, you know what I'm saying? That nigga lived in, where you live at? I think he stayed in Lake Charles, Louisiana. That nigga, in his little accent, yeah, no, I ain't coming down there, cuzzo. You got me, man. You got me all fucked up. To this day, when I see that nigga, nah, I ain't coming. That nigga ain't never been to California. I like they're trying to get to now. Like, nigga, you old now. Come on down. Ain't nothing to be scared of. You be with Cuzzo. That nigga was like, nah, nigga, I ain't going down that shit. You come down here. You know what I'm talking about? You come. That nigga get you like a motherfucker. You like, nah, nigga, I ain't coming down now. You come down here. You know what I'm talking about? You come down here. I said, nigga, I'm trying to get this nigga to come down here for the longest. Nigga don't want to come. I'm like, hey, man, you know your cousin is a goddamn president out here in California, right? Ain't nobody gonna fuck with you. You know who I am out this motherfucker? I'm an important guy. You know what I'm talking about? Come on down here, man. Ain't nobody gonna fuck with you. You know what I'm talking about? Because you my blood. You my cousin. You know what I'm talking about? Kind of like how Chris is my cousin. You know what I'm talking about? But that's a story for another. I'm gonna do a whole nother show on, you know, me and Chris's heritage, bro. I'm gonna do a whole show on that. Don't worry about it. Y'all stay tuned. You know what I'm talking about? Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel right now. Go James says, hell no, niggas niggas was tearing up their cars. Niggas was tearing their cars up to get it up. Hell yeah, bro. Bro, it was pandemonium, man. The homeboy, one of the homeboys, this nigga had a Toyota Tercel. Y'all remember the Tercels? He had a nigga. He burnt this shit up, nigga. He ran the engine out that motherfucker. He burnt this shit up. But nigga, he was going to go loot. He filled the shit up. First of all, you can't pack a lot of niggas in there. He had 5 niggas in there, bro. Tell me why the motherfucker on their way coming back, the motherfucking shit broke down. It blew up. The damn engine caught on fire. This motherfucker had to call me. Hey man, hey Major, how far are you? Where you at? Nigga, I'm down. Nigga, I'm in Hollywood right now. Nigga, where you at? Nigga, hey man, I'm stuck over here on Florence. Nigga, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. You better get the fuck up out of there. You know, shit. Get out the city. It was crazy. Autism Boy said that was the best classic song, 100%. So by Easy E, bro, Major. Hey, yeah, man, facts. Easy E put out a lot of good content, man. A lot of good content. But that was basically my take on the riots, man. But right now, excuse me, what I want to do is y'all got any questions for me? For those of y'all that wasn't there physically but saw it on TV, y'all got anything y'all want to ask me? Because I was there live and in the mix. Like anything y'all want to ask me. For those of you guys that wasn't born during that time, is there anything you want to ask me? If those were guys who was born during that time but wasn't old enough to participate, do you want to ask me anything? I'll answer anything. I can now. Of course, back in the day, if we was doing this shit back in the day, I can't answer shit because then I'll be giving myself up. Yeah, nigga, I went to Circuit City and got this and got that. Now I can say this shit. What the fuck niggas gonna do now? Most of them motherfuckers are dead anyway now, so that's about. I could talk about it now. That's about. So, anybody got any questions for me, man? Cousin says that he was like all that shit around the school. Niggas probably stayed leaving campus. Hell yeah. Hey man, hey cousin, niggas was. But see, the thing of it wasn't no school. Like after that first day, it wasn't no school. Niggas wasn't going to school. We seen niggas getting dressed, getting ready to go to school. Like what the fuck y'all going to school for? Ain't no school. Nigga, we are teachers today. Sit home, enjoy the riots on TV. Some of you niggas too young to get out of here. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? My little sister wanted to come out. You know, my little sister, you know, she was at the time, she was 9. She was born in 83. She was like, oh, I want to go. I'm like, no, you're too young. And then, of course, all my little cousins around her age, you know, from around the city, they was 9, 10 years old. All right, man, y'all too young. You know what I'm saying? 82, 83, 84 babies, 81. And it was just too young to be out there with us. You know what I'm talking about? That was for niggas. The riots was for niggas born in 1980 or below. If you was born after 1980, you were not coming outside. Your fucking parent wouldn't let you outside if you wasn't over 12 years old. It just wouldn't happen. You wasn't out there, bro. We was out there, man. We was out that motherfucker. Tell you, because I can't tell you how many cases of soda niggas had in the bro. I know me personally, bro. I had to have nearly $30,000 worth of shit, bro. I had to. Food, cookies, snacks. Nigga, we hit up the Hostess store. There used to be a Hostess store on Hawthorne Boulevard. Not Hawthorne Boulevard, but Prairie. And then there was another one on was that Gage or Slaw? It might have been Gage. But bro, oh my God. Like my garage was a store. Literally, you could come in that motherfucker and get whatever the fuck you wanted, bro. It was a store around that bitch. You know what I'm talking about? Go James says, how far did you stay away from the Rodney King situation when Rodney King happened? The Rodney King thing happened, that was about, because at that time, we were staying off 103rd and Hobart Street. Hobart there's a main street in LA named Western. Hobart was the next main street from Western. The Rodney King thing happened probably about maybe 5 or 6 miles from me. But the riot started less than 2 miles away from me because we stayed off of Hobart, 103rd and Hobart. The riots kicked off with the first burning and beatings and all this stuff happened. The riots actually kicked off right there on Florence and Normandy. Now, Hobart, we have Hobart. Now, I'm going east now on my street. We stayed on 103rd and Hobart. We had Hobart. Right after Hobart, we had another street called Harvard. I'm going east now. Harvard. Then after Harvard, we had LaSalle. Then after LaSalle, we had Dinker. Then after Dinker, we had Normandy. After Dinker, we had Normandy. After Normandy, we had Budlong. So I was three streets west of Normandy, right? And remember, I told you we stayed off 103rd. So my cross street was 103rd in Normandy. Okay. Century was really 100th Street. I stayed on 103rd, so I'm 3 blocks away from Century. We stayed on 103rd. Century is really 100th Street, if you really want to look at it. That's why I call it Century, because it's 100. So then you got 99th, 98th, going all the way down to 92nd, 93rd. Okay, once you get to like 88th, 87th, 85th, 84th, when you get up to like 86th Street, that's Manchester. Now we're going north from where I am. So I'm already south. I'm already south, so I'm going north now. So let's say I go down 103rd and I go to Normandy. Remember, I was only 3 streets away. That's less than a mile away from me. So then I decide to go down north. So we got Century, and then 86th Street, which is really Manchester. And then the next main street after Manchester is Florence. So Florence is really like in the 70s because my grandfather stayed off of 79th and Western, and my brother stayed off of he ended up moving over there with the other side of his family. They stayed off of 76th and Western. So 76, you got 75th, 74th, 73rd, and 72nd Street was really Florence. So we stayed off 103rd. So we're looking at three blocks going east and about 30 blocks going north. It's about how far we stay away from riots. And that's all less within a 2-mile radius. So the riots happened less than, I'll say, with no traffic, the riots happened less than 5 minutes away from us, bro. And we can actually come out. We can come out on the back porch because our back porch set high. We can stand on the garage because we have one of those detached garages. It was like the house. Then we had a big ass backyard. Then we had a garage, and I had my tool shed. We could stand up on top of the garage and look out, and you can see all the fire and the smoke coming up from Florence. And that's how my brother was able to track where the shit was actually coming from. So the riots originated right there on Florence and Normandy, bro. Well, out here in LA, they call Normandy Norman Die. And they, for obvious reasons, because there was certain parts of Normandy or certain parts of time in history, throughout the 80s and 90s, you even to this day now, sometime you go down Normandy at a certain time, you liable to get your shit lit up. You know what I'm talking about? Just for sport. You know what I'm talking about? Like, don't go down Normandy on Christmas, New Year's, 4th of July. Don't go down Normandy any one of those days, because it gonna Swiss cheese your shit. Your shit gonna be looking like Bonnie and Clyde. Nigga, one time, nigga, I had to go down Normandy because I had a detour. I was supposed to go down Dinker. I ended up having to go down Normandy. Pitch fucking black at night because niggas would shoot the street lights out. I'm going down Normandy, and I hope somebody recognized my shit, because me, once I developed a reputation, I kind of became known over the city for, people knew who I was because I was bodyguard people at the time, whatever the case may be. So I was hoping niggas would recognize my car. And then all my cars, my trucks, I would have my name on the back of that shit. I would actually have, my name, Major, on the back of that motherfucker, written in Old English, so niggas know who the fuck I was and shit. Big nigga, you can't miss me in the city. So, nigga, I'm coming down. Nigga, it sounded like Iraq. Oh, fuck. Then you could see lights coming, flashes coming from the muzzles. Like, oh, shit. It's all smoky now. I'm like, damn, who the fuck these niggas shooting at each other? It's flashes come from both sides of the street. Nigga, fuck that. Nigga, I mean, hell no. So I take a detour. I say, oh, man, okay, I'm coming up on Gage. Let me go ahead and hit Gage and go up to Western and hope it's safely going up to Western. Sometime Western wouldn't be safe. I would have to go all the way up past Crenshaw to Prairie and drive all the way down Prairie to El Segundo and drive all the way down El Segundo to get back home. I would have to go through Inglewood just to come back to my side of town, because it was a little safer at the time. It was crazy, bro. It was crazy. And I'm talking about, Cuzzo said, he said, and did it happen on the interstate or something? Yeah, that shit happened on the, I forgot what freeway that was. Was he going toward Hollywood? He was going somewhere. Wherever he was in Ramparts Division. That's where he was. He was in Ramparts Division. So it happened around there somewhere. I can't remember that. And Goat James says, so they paid that man all that money and then tried to use him to bring everyone back together. It's crazy ass work. I had no idea they paid him millions. Oh, hell yeah. Bro, when he went to court, his lawyer opted to get him $56 million. $1 million per shot. Every shot he took would have added up to $56 million. He took 56 shots, bro. I think he ended up he didn't get that amount though. Of course, his team, got paid, but he got a pretty penny. He ended up getting a little bit of money out of it. You know what I'm saying? And then he actually started up a record company at one point in time. Yeah, Rodney, y'all didn't know that. Rodney King started up a record company at one point in time. I think it was called King Records or some shit like that. Yeah. I mean, but he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. You know what I'm saying? He tried to, but he was such a cool dude, man. He was a cool dude. He was a kind-hearted dude. I ended up meeting him later on. You know what I'm saying? He would go to the church over there, right there off of Crenshaw and Adams, all up in there. It was called West Angeles. He would go there, and he was cool, man. He was a kind-hearted soul, and I hated that ended up happening to that brother. At the end of it all, I hated that, that shit ended up happening to him. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was like 56. It was 56. They hit him 56 times or swung 56 times or some shit like that. They beat the shit out of that dude, man. They beat his ass. And then a couple of days later, the black folks, to show their retaliation, they beat a nigga coming down, what was that, Florence? They beat a nigga coming down Florence named Reginald Denny, white boy. They beat the fuck out of that dude. put him out the truck, whooped his ass. You know what I'm talking about? So, yeah, it was crazy. It was pandemonium. Cuzzo said, I ain't gonna lie, you paid me millions after that shit, I'm going underground. Hell yeah. Everybody was telling him, hey, bro, hey, man, like, get the fuck out of here. But he wanted to stay in the city. You know, he ended up buying a house. He bought a house. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. You know what I'm talking about? So, and then he ended up, it was just a tragic life, bro. You know, it was just a tragic life. He tried to get into a bunch of different things. It was just a tragedy. You know what I'm talking about? He said, man, hold up. You say Century, so you're describing literally 100 blocks or something else. Yeah, bro. Century. Century, the street Century is really 100th Street. So it starts from First Street, downtown LA, First Street, all the way up to Century. That would be considered 100 blocks. Yeah. Uh-huh. Now out here, if any one, not a lot of streets go, you know, span that distance, but I know that Vermont is one of the longest streets in LA. Western is one of the longest streets in LA. So mainly Vermont and Western is one of the longest streets in LA. Crenshaw goes all the way to Wilshire and stops. So Crenshaw goes from Wilshire all the way, if you're going from Wilshire North all the way down to I believe close to the city of Harbor City East. Vermont goes all the way from, Vermont goes all the way from the city of San Pedro, city of Torrance, San Pedro, up in that area, all the way past it goes into Hollywood, well into Hollywood. Same thing with Western, well into Hollywood. Crenshaw stops on Wilshire. La Brea goes all the way into Hollywood. But La Brea starts on Century. So if you're coming from Hollywood and you're going down La Brea, when you get to Century, La Brea becomes Hawthorne Boulevard. Now, if you're coming from the south, and then you get to Hawthorne Boulevard going north, Hawthorne Boulevard turns into La Brea going north. See what I'm saying? Like, same thing with streets going east and west. If you're going down Manchester, as soon as you cross a street called Hooper, you got Manchester all the way from Manchester goes all the way damn near from the airport. Westchester, Manchester goes from Westchester City, that's the airport, damn near at the beach, all the way to the east side of town to Hooper. After that, once you cross Hooper, Manchester becomes Firestone. So that's how it goes like that. So I'm familiar with all the streets because I told you I'm the goddamn mayor out this motherfucker. I'm the governor. I got to know all the streets. Why wouldn't I know? You know what I'm talking about? Florence goes all the way. Once again, it goes all the way from far. It goes from damn near the airport. It goes from the airport area. It goes from Westchester all the way down, all the way far east. Those streets stretch like that. Cuzzo says, nah, he wasn't related to Don King. He wasn't related to Don King. Nah, had he been related to Don King, nigga probably would have had more money. Because you know that nigga Don King was a money hungry motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, it was crazy, man. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was just a crazy time in history, bro. You know. And then he died. He drowned in the pool. You know what I'm saying? He died tragically. It was crazy. It was crazy. And you know what's crazy, bro? This is what I heard. The way he died on Father's Day, 2012. The way that he died, he was found underwater at the bottom of his pool. Rodney King, on Father's Day, June 17, 2012, I heard that his father, that Rodney King's father, Ron King, he was found dead in the bottom of his bathtub on the same day in 1984. So So 20-something years to the day that his father died, that nigga was found dead the same way his father was found dead on the same day. That's some coincidence. I don't, man. Is that a crazy coincidence or what? Excuse me. It was crazy, man. It was crazy. So, yeah, man. What you say? You said, damn. So y'all got a lot of one-way streets out here, or most of them regular? No, we got some one-ways out this motherfucker. We got a couple one-ways out this motherfucker. It's crazy, bro. Some one-ways out here. Whew, man, you just don't want to get caught dead. Literally, you don't want to get caught. You know what they call them? Cause ironically, they call the one-ways out here dead ends. Dead ends. Ironic, because you can't tell you how many bodies was found at the end of cul-de-sacs, bro. Tell you, it's pandemonium out here, man. I tell niggas, hey, man, that's why I be saying, like, when niggas be talking about the city, niggas talk about Kobe and all that, doing all that shit, and now how niggas be spewing about the city and this and this and that. Don't come out here, else you gonna die. See, niggas like that, if be talking bad about the city, can't come out. That's why I say niggas can't come out here, bro. You talk funny behind them keys, but you come out here, nigga. That's in any city you go to, of course. But LA, y'all know, niggas know what LA known for. And niggas talking all that, nigga, fuck LA and all that shit. All right, nigga. Come out here, nigga. And, nigga, and kids would be playing handball right there by that dead end wall, and it'd be a head over there in a box. You know what I'm talking about? That, and hands and feet over there in a bag over there somewhere. I'm telling you, it's been too many times out here. You know, when I was a kid, stumbling across some crazy shit. I'm telling you. And niggas be having these channels talking about, you know, LA like that. LA, yeah, nigga, don't never come here. You safe behind the damn keys, but don't ever come out here talking that shit. Any one of these niggas will take you out. Blood, Crip, SA, Asian gang, cop. One of these broads out here set your ass. Man, I'm telling you, bro, it's crazy out here. Nigga, even I, at a certain time of day, even my ass don't be out like that, nigga. I want to be a victim of circumstances. Not everybody know a nigga. You know what I'm saying? My name only goes so far around this motherfucker. You know, so I be telling niggas, like, when niggas come down here, cousins do come down here, I'm like, nigga, I don't give a fuck what you do. Stick with me. Nigga, wherever the fuck you want to go, don't ever go nowhere by yourself, nigga. You stick with me, you'll be fine. You want to go to Roscoe's House of Chicken and Waffles? Nigga, come with me, stand right by my side, nigga. Don't go, no, don't look at nobody, don't do nothing. Nigga, if you got a chain, leave that motherfucker at the house. Here, nigga, you going out with me, you might need this. You know how to shoot a gun? Here, nigga, take this biscuit with cheese on it, just in case. Hey, if you see a nigga coming in the store and he robbed that motherfucker, keep looking straight. Don't look. Don't try to be no hero, don't do nothing. Hey, man, when you come down here, hey, man, you pass by a park, never stop. Keep going. Don't stop. Don't look. You keep fucking going. If it's at night, you pass by a park, the light is red, run that motherfucker. Don't never get caught sitting at no stop sign, stop light out this motherfucker, bro. Don't do it. When niggas come by and light your shit up like Christmas. Anytime my cousins would come down here from out of state and never been down here, they be scared. I be like, nigga, don't you ever be scared with me. I can't save the world, but I ain't gonna let nothing happen to you, because, nigga, I shoot back. Remember, I'm a product of this shit down here, bro. I know where all the danger zones are, but I got enough ammunition, you know, in my arsenal to you know, to take out a street gang. So, nigga, you come shooting at my cousins, nigga, and they out here to enjoy this show, come to a family barbecue, nigga, I shoot back. You understand me? But everybody don't have that type of, you know, everybody ain't about that, bro. So niggas be coming out here, niggas don't be checking in, niggas be, you know, moving around the city, and all the niggas that has done that has been laid down. It's sad. PNB Rock, remember that situation? This nigga he wanted to go to the worst Roscoe's House of Chicken and Waffles you can go to. That nigga went to the worst one over there off of Manchester and Maine. That's the worst one to go to. He would have been better off going to the one in Hollywood off of Pico, the one where Bruce Willis and all the stars go, Denzel Washington, all of them. He would have been better off going to the one off of La Brea and Pico. Hell, he could even been better going to the one in Long Beach by the beach. This nigga went in a heart of how many hoods over there? You got you got Main Street, you got the Broadways, you got the Bloods coming through there, the Swans coming through, you got the Hoovers coming through. You got 5 different hoods over there, 6 different hoods, 2 Hispanic gangs and 4 black gangs around that motherfucker, and they all hate each other. And then you got the East Coast, 7 gangs, and they all hate each other. And you come through that motherfucker talking shit on a live like motherfuckers can't ping your location. Yeah. As soon as nigga gotta get some chicken, yo man, let me see that chain around your neck. Let me just take a look at it right quick. No, fuck you. Nigga, do you know where you at? Nigga ask for that chain, come up off that motherfucker. Nah, nigga, I'm him, or whatever the fuck he said. Black right in front of his girlfriend. You come out here playing tough Tony. Hey, I tell all the homies, niggas from out of state, you know, even when my sons come down here, you know, hey, y'all already know. Y'all already know. Like, son had came down here, they was gone. You know, they've been gone for a minute. They come down here, you know, they done picked up their accents or whatever, New York accents, or they come down, niggas think they ain't never been out here before. So one of the niggas, son go to the liquor store, one of the niggas, a nigga bang on the son or whatever. He come to see Pops. Pops, he came back, told me, he's like, yeah, Pops, nigga bang. And my sons is huge. They big like me. So niggas ain't about to see them with hands, you know what I'm saying? Because both of them niggas got hands. I taught them. But, you know, niggas, most niggas don't fight. Most of these niggas, these little punk Rudy Poo niggas shoot or they want to jump. Or nigga banging on the son, like he didn't really bang on them harsh, but he was just like, hey, you know what I'm talking about? You sound like you from yada, 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 yada. So I was like, nah, man, I'm cool. He was like, oh, nigga, you cool? What you mean you cool? Nigga, you know where you at? Yeah, I know where I'm at. I said I'm cool. It's like, no, nigga, you better say boo. You know, because he was in a blood neighborhood. So I said, oh yeah, all right. What liquor store was you at? He come home, tell me, he wasn't even spooked enough. He was just like, hey, Pops, you know somebody named such and such, yada, yada. I was like, stay right here with your mom. I'll be back. Go over to the liquor store. I go up in there. I ain't even in there to really even buy anything. I just bought some lottery tickets. Go up in there. Hey, what's up, Major? You know, what's up, D? Or they call me D because my real name is Darnell. You know what I'm saying? Major's my real name, but Darnell is my other name. So he's like, hey, what's up, D? Or what's up, Major? What's up, our big maids, or whatever the case may be? One of them niggas called me Bouncer. What's up, Bouncer? Go up in there. Hey, you know, a couple minutes ago, you know what I'm saying? I'm sending my son up here. You know, he came up here. You know what I'm saying? He out here to visit me from New York, whatever the case may be. And somebody, you know, was somebody harassing him? Yeah, well, oh no, one of the homeboys just didn't know who he was. I said, listen here. A lot of y'all I watched grow up. Some of y'all don't remember my son. Some of y'all grew up with him. That's my son. I got 2 of them. That's the only one that's out here right now. That's my son. Anytime you see him, I don't give a fuck what's going on. Anytime you see him, he ain't on that. You know what I'm saying? He's a successful black man handling his business, come to see his pops. I don't need nobody harassing him. Because let me tell you something, y'all. And I mean this shit from the bottom of my heart. And any father would feel like this, any brother, whoever. Something happened to your kid, bro. Before it happens to you, you better turn the city upside down. And I think niggas know. Because aside from all this playing and joking and all that shit, down underneath, I'm still who I am. And the one thing those white boys taught me when I went over there in the desert is they taught me how to kill, and they taught me how to do that shit effectively and efficiently, and then go home and not even think about it. That's what they taught me how to do. See, a lot of them niggas don't know that. A lot of these little niggas around here don't know that. They think I'm just a regular nigga, walk around, I got a little bit of money or whatever the case may be. Or, you know, I'm just a big nigga walking around the neighborhood. A lot of these niggas don't know what I used to do or what I am or who I am. They don't know. And I don't need to tell them. But it must be known that don't touch my family, Don't say nothing to them. If you ain't saying hi to them, bye to them, don't say nothing to my family, because I kill for my family. I don't give a fuck about going to jail. I done done pen time. That's nothing. Over my family, I'm not gonna go to jail over nothing stupid. But I had to let it be known, hey, this is my family. Period. And I'm stupid about my family. I'm stupid about my cousins, stupid about my sisters, stupid about my brothers, stupid about my kids, stupid about grandkids, stupid about my wife. I'm stupid about the rats and roaches in my house. You come in my house, you see a roach, you better not kill it. Let that motherfucker walk. I kill him. You take your shoes off, kick your feet up, and enjoy the hospitality. And fried chicken my wife about to make us. Nah, I'm joking, but I'm serious at the same time. You know what I'm talking about? So here, man, it's cool, but it ain't cool if you just walking around just being. If you mind your business, if you ain't fucking with nobody, ain't nobody gonna fuck with you. But if you come on some hard shit, on some rah shit, somebody somewhere gonna fuck with you. The OG niggas will leave you alone, but the young niggas be the ones trying to get a rep off you, and that's usually what happened. So. But Cuzzo says, so was that or the wildfires? Was that the wildfires last year? Was that the most impactful moment of the city? It was pretty impactful, but I'll say it's around up there with the 1994 North Ridge earthquakes. Tore up a lot of that portion of Los Angeles, all up in the Hollywood areas and stuff like that. Reseda, all up in there. We also had another earthquake in '89, big, huge one up in the Bay Area. So '89, '94 earthquake. Those were impactful. We had a couple brush fires. El Nino was pretty impactful back in '94. A lot of shit happened in '94, come to think about it. '93, '94. The wildfires, that was a spit in the bucket from the shit that we witnessed out here. There was a guy going around, the police chief back in the day. He was a police chief, he was a fire marshal. He was actually going around starting the fires, and people was thinking there was a serial arsonist around, but he was starting the fires. And he would show up to each fire that he started. I forgot what year that was, but it was way back in the day. There was a fire marshal actually going around starting these fires himself. And everybody thought it was a serial arsonist going around. It was crazy. Cuzzo says, that Rodney King beating, was that the first high profile incident that happened that you can remember, or was it something before that? Before the Rodney King beating, there was nothing real high profile that I can remember, bestowed upon an individual. Like, the only things that were high profile was gang murders. And the reason why I say they were high profile, because a lot of the, gangbanger murders these were murders of big time gangbangers. You know what I'm saying? So if you was a big time, well-known gangbanger and you was murdered, that was a high profile situation that kind of turned up the city by which that person was from. Like in Compton, here in Compton, dude named OG Turtle. You know what I'm saying? He was killed in '89. His hood and all around that area turned up. They turned up. Same thing over there in Watts, Grape Street. When the big homie over there, Geo, he got killed. They turned up. Nigga, another reputable nigga later on, BL, young guy, young turn up nigga. They turned up. Anything when he died, anything moving through there that didn't look kosher was getting Swiss cheesed. One thing about it, when a big time nigga from a hood around here die and it's murder, even if you didn't have nothing to do with it, anybody that's not a part of that hood, anybody that they don't know pushing through there is gonna get harassed. It's always like that. Anytime there was not too long ago, where I'm living now, some big time dude, got murked over here. It was hard to go outside. Now, like I say, I go everywhere. I go anywhere I want to go because I keep a biscuit on me at all times. Like I say, I'm more qualified to use my biscuit than they are. These niggas is because they do it in urban warfare. I did this shit overseas. So I'm trained in urban warfare. I'm trained in guerrilla. I'm trained in all of that. Special weapons and tactics was my thing. 0351 infantry, amphibious ground assault. That means I was stealth. I did stealth missions. So you could be looking at me in front of you. Major's in front of me. You blink 1 second, nigga, I'm gone. Next thing you know, you turn around, I'm behind you. I was one of them motherfuckers. So that's why I moved the way I moved, because I know, bro, if I ever went rogue, I know I could take some niggas out. I know I can. That's why when the Christopher Dorner thing happened out here, I remember Christopher Dorner. I'll probably go tell a story on that pretty soon. When the Christopher Dorner thing happened, and my mom was like, "You look at this dude." So I was at her house, and I'm looking at the dish. She was like, and then the nigga picture popped up. I was like, "Oh shit!" And then they said all his specialties and all that. My mom was like, "Well, how do you think they're gonna capture him?" I said, "They're not gonna capture him. Either he gonna turn himself in, which is highly unlikely, or they're gonna have to kill him. He's gonna take out a whole bunch of people before they catch up with him." That is a modern day Rambo. The only way they're gonna stop this dude is if they corner him in, or they send the motherfuckers that train him. You got to send motherfuckers after him that are like him. Regular police department can't do nothing with this dude. I told her that, and I was right. It's like, damn, son, you was right. You said they would either have to corner him or send the motherfuckers, send the military after this nigga. That's why I told I know my kind. This dude went, cheese slid off the cracker. He made that manifesto, and he was like, I had it up to here. And oh shit, where's he at? If he's in the street, I said the best thing to do. I said he ain't gonna hurt regular people if you don't have to. But see, the thing about that, we had this belief that there's, in order for a goal to be accomplished, there was going to be casualties of war. So that means if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And that's what it was with him. So, it was crazy. It was crazy. Cuzzo said, since you brought up gangs, was it true that Tookie unalived 4 people? And do you think he did it? You don't have to answer. It was too confidential on the screen. Yeah, I'm not going to answer that, Cuzzo, but here's what I do. You hit me up on the gram, and I'll tell you what I think, what I heard, and what I know. Because my parents did grow up with Tookie. My dad in particular ran with him, Raymond Washington, Jamil Barnes, Cy Winder, all those big time crib niggas, they all ran together. And what I heard from what I heard, I will say this, from what I heard, he was innocent of those crimes. But because he didn't want to open his mouth about something, he took the bait. He took the fall. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But hit me up in the private chat in the on Instagram, and then I'll tell you what I know or what I heard. Because remember, my parents came up with this dude, like direct, not by osmosis. They came up with this guy, Craig Munson. They came up with this dude. You know what I'm saying? And I'm old enough to remember seeing him come. I was a baby, but I'm old enough to remember seeing him being around the neighborhood, being around the houses. We lived on the east side. He was a west side dude, but he'd be on the east side because he used to run a Compton's boys home in Compton. Like a youth home or whatever the case may be. So he had to come to this side of town. So yeah, facts. You know what I'm talking about? He says, bet fam. Sammy the man says, salute, Major. Facts. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, yo, this is the end of the show, man. I got to get up and make some moves. But please hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. If you like the show, man, hit a 1 in the chat. If you like me to do more shows like this, hit a 1 in the chat. Like I said, we don't just do sports shows over here, man. We do all kind of shows. I am a wealth of knowledge. I tell my story. This is a part of the Major Story series. I'll be doing a lot more stories just from things that I've experienced or witnessed throughout my life. If y'all want to hear some military stories, I can do shows on that. If you want to hear some stories of the childhood, just different parts of me running around LA, I could do that. How I started off, how I got to start, that I got to do what I do now today. If you want to hear that story, I do all kind of story. This is Major Level Entertainment. I talk about everything. I'm your one-stop shop for hood news and hood history, ladies and gentlemen. Please hit that like button, subscribe button. Please go out there right now, and be a blessing to somebody, man. Sammy the Man says, and subscribe to my bro, Major, right now. One LA Cali, stand up. You know how he does this. Cuzzo. Salute, man, for showing up to the channel. Go ahead and hit me up in that chat, man, and I'll let you know what you need to know. You know what I'm talking about? On behalf of Major Level, this is Major Level Mafia. This is your boy, Big Major, signing off one more time. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace and blessings, y'all.
Everything I do is major. I'm getting major paper. Every time I whip a track, the shreds like a cheese grater. When I hit your spot, it ain't no way that no one can save ya. Like I said before, anything I do, I'ma do it major. Everything I do is major. I'm getting major paper. Every time I whip a track, the shreds like a cheese grater. When I hit your spot, it ain't no way that no one can save ya. Like I said before, anything I do, I'ma do it major. Everything I do is major. I'm getting major paper. Every time I rip a track, the shreds like a cheese grater. When I hit your spot, it ain't no way that no one can save ya. Like I said before, anything I do, I'ma do it major. Everything I do is major. I'm getting major paper. Every time I rip a track, the shreds like a cheese grater. When I hit your spot, it ain't no way that no one can save ya. Like I said before, anything I do,